What a week in Canberra. Opposition leader Peter Dutton on the front foot around immigration. Was it a wise political move? Joining me live is former Howard Government Minister and Bondi Partners Senior Advisor Peter McGauran. Peter Dutton's comments re a blanket ban on refugees from Gaza. How will that be received?
Oh, I think it'll be received extremely well because people are naturally concerned about bringing to Australia conflict from the Middle East. And Peter Dutton unearthed the fact that it's not ASIO that's doing the checks on these humanitarian visas, it's the Immigration Department, and ASIO only gets involved if there's a red flag. So we don't even have our security agency checking everybody out. And how can you anyway, because of the conflict of the raging war?
If we park everything to one side and look at it as a pure political move, was it a smart political move? Could it give backlash? Could it splash back on him, particularly when you think of what the Teals did in the last federal election?
The smartest political moves, Tim, are the principled move. That was a principled move by Peter Dutton. I think he followed his instincts, and there was no guarantee it would be a political success, but he's articulated the case, and I think he'll be politically rewarded for it. Plus, it's another week where the government didn't get to talk about cost of living relief. So the government must address this issue to a far greater extent of the pain and suffering of Australian families, and they're being deprived of the agenda by Peter Dutton.
It looks like an election early next year. It's neck and neck, isn't it?
Very much so. We've got 5 major polls, and all of them have the two parties basically on a two-party preferred basis level pegging. Interestingly, Peter Dutton is edging just above Anthony Albanese as the preferred Prime Minister. But Dutton still faces enormous hurdles to overcome, especially the Teal seats, to win a majority in his own right.
What about the United States? What a change. That's unbelievable. Kamala Harris is now a pronounced favourite. You look at all the bookmakers, and if I'd said that to you a month and a half ago, you would have laughed at me.
Yes, and Trump's made it a lot easier for him over the last 3 weeks. He hasn't got his line or eye in regard to her. He's still rambling, he's still vindictive. His closest political allies, including current supporters and advisors, are telling him, frame her on those issues.
But he won't.
He won't.
And JD Vance is shooting himself in the foot as well.
They're too stubborn. They keep appealing to their base. She is very vulnerable on immigration, illegal immigration from the southern border, crime, of which she's regarded as being particularly soft and progressive on, and thirdly, the economy. The American economy, Tim, is probably technically in recession. Interest rates are 5.5%. Unemployment's increasing to 4.3%. So the Biden economic management is largely regarded as a failure in America. So why doesn't Trump hone in on these issues?
Trump sounds like he needs to employ you to get it right now. Those swing states are much more competitive. In fact, Harris is competitive in other states that had been written off under Biden.
I think at this rate, she's going to win, but only because of the dereliction of Trump. Politically, he's got to put aside...
It's got a bit to do with people over there. They didn't want to see an 80-year-old versus an 80-year-old, did you? And this is a bright new light for them. This whole idea of younger people.
True, but let's not elevate Kamala Harris to sainthood. She is very vulnerable. She's very light on policy. She can read a teleprompter extremely well. But in the debates, I think Trump will assert himself because she's not quick on her feet. And I think he'll do well in the debates. But he's running out of time. There's only 75 more days. And in the meantime, she is setting the agenda. He's got to pull her onto those areas where Americans despise the Biden regime and legacy, or they have little or no regard for her.
Tim Walz, what did you think?
Oh, average, very average. But then again, JD Vance, I think, is average. I find both vice presidential selections not helpful to the candidate themselves.
It was a dangerous move, JD Vance going the whole military service thing. It's been done before, and it's backfired on people. It has been an interesting time to watch.
True, but JD Vance has a fascinating backstory from poverty to success, all because of his own endeavours. Tim Walz is just your friendly uncle. So Give me JD Vans over Tim Waltz any day of the week.
A lot of people like their friendly uncle from Tom. All right, good to see you. Spring Carnival starts next week. Well, starts in a few weeks. We come back with Racing Dreams. It's an exciting time.
Good. I love Racing Dreams. It's not to be missed.
And they do come true. Good to see you, Peter.